Sunshine, coming to you with a, I'm going to say a New York Minute, come to you with a trigger warning. This is especially for, this is titled for um, those of us that are 40 and up on this twin flame journey, getting stuck in the loophole of rabbit hole thing. The reason why I came up with this is because I'm noticing a trend. The more and more clients that I work with, and the more and more even talking, like even with mom, those of us in my age group, because I'm like in the late 40s, those two, finding that it's a little hard for us to stop kind of getting in continuous loop of things in the past. Especially, and I looked at my analytics, and those of I have is we kind of like I run the gamuts, the 18, this little small minute, but my big bubble of chunk of people are that 35 to 45, 45 to that, and then from that on, and I got like a little bit of 65 that's in there, and plus. Learning that when we're on this journey here is almost similar to teaching the old dog new tricks, and it's a little hard. A lot of times we're dealing with the older, and myself included, we have a habit of we keep on repeating the past, and we'll get new strategies and new patterns that's given to us. We still kind of go back to that default setting. This I'm seeing is something that's a little bit the spirit and saying, "Oh, this is a trend," and they need to bring this to their attention. Pay attention to the conversations that you're having, knowing, seeing of how you are, no matter how somebody kind of corrects you and tell you to speak more positive, or you find yourself continuing to talk about, well, back there in 1965, or, and you think that you didn't got over and say, no, I'm just saying, I'm just telling you my story so you can understand who I am and where I came from. You have a tendency to, and this is not just one, I'm run the gamut of a lot, even myself, to kind of go back there and relive it. I think about Ayanna Van Zant, who I really love, and that's really my person all time, like I would say, mentor in my head, and person that I like to even copy myself after as far as doing life coaching. She always say, tell the story, beloved, but let's not go back to relive it. You should be telling it from the point of view of observer. Some of us that we have that we do it, and even though we're not saying it, we're still living from that default setting, and we might not be aware of it. A lot of times we having conversations with ourselves, with others, and we find ourselves that going back to old patterns, old habits, old ways, because that is what either our family has told us, family ways, or this is just something that we just keep on because of that pain. I think about the reading that I did with mom today about the connection between the divine feminine and divine masculine, and how the divine masculine, even he's stuck with things of patterns from the family in which he's parroting and continuing on. And I think about even the divine feminine, this pain and hurt that she seems to can't break through to get to the other side, to state that, that's something of the past. I've learned from the past. I've dealt with it, thank you, and that's it. And if I tell you my story, I'm telling you my story from the point of the glory that I made it and you can make it too. Not from a point of view that I want you to play, know that I'm a victim, I'm playing from a part of victimhood, or I'm playing from a part that I want you to sympathize with me. I want you to empathize with me about as far as what has actually happened to me. This is a fine line that we've got to kind of, walk. And a lot of people, just from a couple of sentences and a couple of talking to you, they pretty much can have a real good idea of who you are and what's going on from you, just from just a couple of just sitting down with you. And so you want that when even somebody else listening to you, that's the same way the universe is listening to you. It's like, they ain't got over it, so we gotta, kind of keep them on in there until they kind of get it and understand that when you're doing that. That's just like me talking about the story about what had happened with me with the confessions of a karmic, being in a karmic relationship. And me still talking about it and still reliving it, like I said, when that had happened. That was just for me a point of saying, that's it, let's seal it, let's close the chapter. Each time when we're telling the story or we're doing things in our ideologies, we have a point of using it as a point of reference. We have to really sit and think and say, is this suiting me for what's going on now? Is that something that I can really utilize to keep in my toolbox of things of go-tos that I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to go to that. I keep saying this, and this is continuous on this twin flame journey, that this is something that's not in the norm that's showing me a box. This is not something that's nicely tailored made with a pink bow or a red bow ribbon on it, and then you can claim it as this is, you can do this twin flame journey or adventure this way based upon principles that you had did back there in 1965 or whatever. You've got to learn how to kind of gear shift. And I even know that, even like working with mom, even on the channel and seeing that. And some things are like, this person is this, and she kind of defaults to this in different ways, because that's the concept that she understands, and that's the way she can put that nice little square peg in that round hole, because it fits, but it doesn't fit. You have to get like Johnny Cocker said, if it don't fit, you must quit. And so it's a warning. I just want to come on here just very quickly and just kind of warn you all to watch it. That again, are you in continuous loops when you're reliving the pain, or you're telling your story to somebody? Have you really truly have forgotten it? Or are you saying it's like a point of reference, like a dictionary? This is the definition of what happened then. I'm disconnected from that. I'm not reliving it again. Or is it showing up and it is continuously still something that you are reliving, instead of you just observing and just telling it as if you had seen an episode of NCSI or Law and Order or whatever it is like that, and you're telling it just like that, not to be relived and say, "Ooh, I want to see that episode again. It was good." But again, you've got to take it from a vantage point in which you are actually telling it like it's actually somebody else's story, not for you to be reliving over again. So that's just something I just want to bring to you, because I'm noticing that terminology was brought to me. But we always talk about the rabbit hole in this continuous loop, and this is what I'm seeing, almost like us just say, rewind, do it again, rewind, do it again. When do you get out of the loop? When is it that you could say, you know what, I'm tired? It's like riding on the hamster wheel. And I just keep on coming up with the same equation, the same things, keep reliving, keep saying about other people and what they're doing to me, keep saying about what happened to me. And then we get to a point that it's just like enough is enough. Enough of the hamster wheel, and enough of us being in a continuous loop about the pain. And I've noticed that it's a lot of we got it kind of really bad by basing upon old paradigm shifts from the ones from the 40 plus and over. The younger ones, and not saying that it's not, but I'm just noticing it's a little bit more with us that we like to kind of go right back to, like, again, like they told us in psychology, when a client brings you back to that same over again, that means they want to make sure that you got it, and that's a foundational concept or thing that's really the bottom line of it all, of why they're in the office coming to you. And so again, what are you telling people the bottom line is about you? What are you saying in this continuous loop of conversation, that this is the bottom line? He hurt me and I can't get over it. That's the bottom line. You keep bringing us to that. And that's something that you have to bring. They don't like me on the job. I know this because every time I go for a promotion, this is happening. Now, let me tell you what happened. Blah, 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 blah. X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, X, Y, add again. And this is why they're not going to promote me and let me on the job. This is why. Okay, we heard everything you else said, and we walked away knowing that they not going to promote you. Because this is what you keep on telling people, continuous loop, as they talk to you and have conversations with you. And so again, where is the escape button on that? Like on the computer, where you hit the escape button on that to say, okay, that's enough showing this full screen. Now let's go and minimize this. Where is it? Just want to bring this to you. Again, this is another trigger warning. Make sure that tomorrow that you join my mother and I on live at 1 p.m. Central Time. We'll be going live. So you can ask her questions. Please make sure that you have your questions ready for her. She says she's an open book and she's ready. So we'll be able to do that tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central. It'll be live. All right there. As always, don't forget your love letters too as well. $22 for that one. I'm still working on the other project. Things keep on coming. We have bad weather here as well too. And then between these new energies that's coming in, and it's been getting me, and I've been trying to adjust to it. Especially even with the DM or whatever he's going through as well. I'm trying to adjust to those too. So give me a little patience. I just working on my projects. Don't forget about also my tarot cards. I had the new deck there, over 100 cards. You can go to the community tab, and I talk about it in length as to what's the features that has. When times I can't do full length, or I'm overexerted or tired, I will pull out those and do quickies in between to let you know what's happening with the divine feminine and divine masculine energies. All right, then. Until next time, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, and I'ma go. Love you.